Hello everybody, this is Kurt with the Naked Card Experience, and I am back doing some more Diablo 3 like I said I would. I'm a man of my word every time. Today I wanted to show you another way I would use to farm with this kind of build, this kind of character. Funny story before I say that though, when I was getting back on here, I had a little bit of break in between. I exited out of the game and I started the game back up. Oddly enough, there was a queue. So I guess a lot of people are playing Diablo 3 again, which is pretty freaking great to hear. I know this game has its faults. I know that some things have seemed like the creators are just catering to the needs of the players. They're not actually doing things innovative or different. I know that some people are saying that. I mean, I've agreed at some points. But for the most part, I think that there's been a lot of changes that are for the lot better. I think that this game is getting fantastic. I think the new seasons are fun. I think the new seasonal items are fun. I think it's a lot of entertainment, so don't get me wrong. So everybody just watch me do that and go, what the hell are you doing? Well, it seems kind of weird to do something like this, but my opinion, it's kind of luck-based for the most part, but my opinion is that this is one of the fastest ways to get legendaries farmed for a low-tier character that cannot clear T6. This is what Nick and I would do together and what I would do alone whenever I was farming up parts. It seems to work, but it's also luck-based, so sometimes you get nothing out of it. So don't tell me, I can't tell you that this is an end-all be-all fix. So typically speaking, say like if you had 900 blood shards and you had 10 minutes to do this, I would probably use the blood shards before I would do this as a guarantee for a legendary. But in terms of getting more of the legendaries that you'd want, I'd probably pick this over doing blood shards just because this is more rewarding. So what am I doing? Basically what you do is you start off a Greater Rift with one of the Greater Rift keystones you have. If you've been playing a little bit, you probably have a couple, you know, by beating the high enough levels. I know that a Greater Rift, you don't always get a keystone trials on the lower torments, but on like a T6, you're almost guaranteed one every single time. I know that. I know, so this is kind of counterintuitive to me saying if you're low enough level and you don't get through, if you can't get through the torments very well yet. But hear me out. If you get one of those keys and you're pretty happy to get a key, this is typically what I would do. You start off with the trial. You do the trial. You immediately get out of the trial, so you get a T or a level 1 Greater Rift key. This level 1 Greater Rift key means that you sprint through the map and literally one-shot nearly everything. If you can at least cover a T3 or 4, you'll be nearly one-shotting or nearly one-shotting most things on T1. Or not T1, on Greater Rift 1. They're not even a T1 at all. They're probably normal or hard difficulty if you want a comparison. You do this. You go through the entire thing, you upgrade your keystone. Why? Is because, typically speaking, there's a pretty good chance you get legendaries at a rift altogether, not including gems. This is an easiest way to get all the gems right away, too. But not including gems, this is pretty much the simplest way to get legendaries right away without very hard effort. This is what Nick and I would do. We would sit here and we'd go through these rifts. At T1, you beat it, upgrade your keystone. You go to a T or 11 if you did this optimally. If you beat it fast enough, you go from 1 to 11. You get 10 levels boost if you beat a rift fast enough. I'm hoping that's what I get. If I don't, that's okay. It's not really that big of a deal. But you go through this, and hopefully speaking, you probably get a legendary, at least a legendary. Sometimes you get more, out of just doing such a lowly level rift that it doesn't really feel like you did much effort. You do the next one, and you do it again. You keep doing it until you know what rift difficulty you pretty much cannot do. I know for this character, anything over 28 is going to be very, very difficult, so I'm not going to do over 28. Oh, this guy again, really? But see, there you go. Done and done. Sorry, done and done. Now you wait for him to explode, and you look at the map, I already got a legendary. It's a cloak. It's not what I need at all, but I got a legendary. If you have a character that has some ragtag builds together, just has some legendaries thrown together, this is a great way to get better legendaries. Eventually, if you keep doing this in repetition, you will continue making blood shards on top of getting legendaries, maybe even set pieces you need, because this is a good chance at set pieces too. So this is what Nick and I would do. I mean, how long did that take me? I think it took me under 2 minutes because that's the max amount you would do to get from a 1 to an 11 for getting 10 rift higher. So I did that. I get 10 rifts higher. It took less than 2 minutes. I got a legendary and I got 62 blood shards. Now you're looking at me going, well, 62 blood shards is a crap amount, Kurt. Why the hell would I want to get 62 blood shards when I could do a, I don't know, a Rift 38? Like, wait to get my parts, get a Rift 38, and get over 200 in one go. Well, if you continue doing this, now I'm on a Rift 11 that still, as you can see, I decimate anything in my way with one shot. An 11 will give me more blood shards than a 1. So I went from 62. This will probably give me a little bit more, maybe 80, 70, 80 blood shards. We'll have to see. I'm not sure. That means now I'll have over 100. And it still is probably only going to take me a grand total of maybe 4 minutes between the two builds, or between the two runs, to do both of these rifts and get me over 100 blood shards. You can't do a T6 normal rift that fast with a low-level character such as this. Low armored character such as this. You can't do a rift that fast with such a low-level character. My monk right now that I've played over 100 hours in probably could do a rift that fast, a normal rift, and get that many blood shards. But that's not who we're speaking about. We're speaking about this demon hunter right now, who definitely needs upgrades, who definitely needs the Natalia stuff, who doesn't have any of the build yet. Doing this and getting over 100 blood shards in less than 4 minutes, that's the fastest way you can get blood shards. So even if you're not getting any legendaries that you need, you're not getting set pieces, or sometimes if you're unlucky like I am, which I am all the time, you might not even get legendaries at the end of any of these maps at all. You might not get any legendaries from the Greater Rift boss whatsoever. Good news is that I'm not totally worried about that because I'm more happy that I'm getting blood shards. So technically when I was speaking at the beginning, I was kind of lying when I'm saying that this is, if you don't want to do blood shards, this is the way to do it. I wanted to trick you into thinking that because now when you go and do this, you won't be thinking, oh, I'm doing this just to get the blood shards. You'll see that, hey, I can get legendaries and possibly set pieces out of this. So in doing this, it's probably a more viable way than going and doing rifts that are really low level that I guarantee that I won't get any legendaries and only get me like 60 to 90 blood shards a go. Well, this takes less amount of time and gets me more. Especially when I get awesome pylons like this. A speed pylon in a low-level rift is literally the best pylon you can get, just because it makes you so fast through it, and you can clear this quick. So, next thing I sneeze on, there we go. Hello, Perdition, you old asshole. And see? Done. Didn't get any legendaries. Not a big deal. If you're wondering why I keep pointing up at the map, it's because you can see legendaries on the map before you see them on the ground. So it's much faster to look up there and see the legendary drop on the map before you see it drop here. See, now, okay, I did it fast enough. I'm on a Greater Rift 21 now. 21 is even better for blood shard amounts. I already have 125, so actually I only got around 670 around. No, 80. I still got about 80 like I thought. Not bad. For taking, I think, a whopping 4 minutes to do both of those together. Had a cough again, excuse me. It's also not a very bad idea to do this because you get a moderate amount of money and a moderate amount of leveling. So if you're, say like you're, Paragon level 100, maybe even 90 or something, maybe even 15 or 20, and you've gotten lucky and got enough parts to do some greater rifts or something, then you'll see that your leveling will start going ping, ping, ping because you're not really paying attention to this. You're just doing these as fast as you possibly can. In my mind, that's a better choice. See, now I got to Rift 21. I'm still over-leveled for this. This is probably maybe like a T3 or 4 Rift, maybe T5. I don't even know. I'd have to look. There's a conversion you can Google online that tells you the approximate level of a Greater Rift to the approximate level of an actual Torment level. So you can see what kind of levels you're doing. I'm still over leveled for this. 21's still too low of a level for me to have to worry about anything really. I one-shot all the trash mobs. It takes me maybe 5 to 10 seconds to kill elite packs if I'm fully focusing them down, as you can see. So, that would have been bad to miss. Not really. As you can see, this is still way faster than doing any T6, T5 rift that I could do, trying to get them optimal blood shards out of anything. This is still faster. I prefer this over the other way I was showing you, the other rifts and how that works. Just due to the fact that it's really satisfying to watch everything in your wake explode. That's how this goes in lower levels. Any lower level you're fighting with, any character or build you're fighting with at a low level, such as, you know, a Greater Rift 1, will absolutely decimate everything. And it's fun to watch them all go. Excuse me, pardon me. Pardon-me. Boop-a-doop. See, hear those satisfying crunches? Isn't that just wonderful? Just I mean, listen to all of them just oh, in a speed pylon. Perfect. Also, at the end of this video too, I will briefly kind of skate through what all I have on my character and what all of my skills are, even though you can pretty much kind of guess what I'm using. Just so you can see how I built this character up, just so then you know that I'm not doing anything special. There's not like one end-all, be-all part of the build that makes this impossibly easy to use. As you can see now, though, getting a Perendi right now is kind of a time killer because of how much health and how much armor he has. So my attacks take forever to kill him. But the good news is he's so stupid and slow, and every time I do a vault past him, my little idiots give him a lot more to pay attention to than I ever need to do. So it's still relatively the easiest thing to do ever as a boss. Got a set piece. Set helm. I don't need a set helm. It's the same one as this one. Okay. I also got a hand crossbow. It's not the one I need, but see? 100 blood shards. Rank 21 Greater Rift. 100 blood shards right away. It took me less than 10 minutes to do all three of those rifts together. 225 blood shards already. Greater Rift 31 I know I can't do with this character, so I just go ahead and switch out. And now I see what gems do I need to upgrade. Well, I have Ice Blink that I'm upgrading just for fun whenever I don't have anything else. I also might want to use a Pain Enhancer. I might want to get a secondary Bane of the Powerful up. I don't know. Maybe another Multiple Beast Skizzard, another Bane of the Trapped. I might start another Bane of the Trapped. The reason why, I already have one. It's already max level. It's already, I think, over max, or not max level. It's already over 25. Max level would be ridiculous. But you know, I'm one of those people, since I'm doing these greater rifts and anything like that, and they're not that very high level, I don't want to sit there and go between characters every single day to switch out the gems. I get lazy, so why not just level up too? I don't know. Why not? That could be good, actually, for my other build that I want to do. I got another Accursed Visage. I prefer that it has vitality over life percent, but in this case, it's not really good enough. I don't really care enough to trade it over, so whatever. If you're wondering why I'm selling yellows off instead of breaking them down for Veiled Crystals, well, I have over 12,000 of them, almost 10,000 or 11,000 of them. I mostly need blues and whites. So anyway, this is probably not going to be needed, but I'm still going to keep it because I might be able to use it later. Just real quick before I end this episode, I wanted to show you the main part I'm using is Evasive Fire with Focus. The reason why is because I get a generation, bonus generation for 7 for my Hatred regen. I have multi-shot Arsenal. The reason why is because it does fire damage, and I have fire on my bracers. It doesn't need to be fire. It could be anything you want because this is not a max level build. It's not a high level build. I'm not going to keep it. I'm just using it because it'll give me a little bit bonus. I have Strafe on there in case I get stuck really hard and I don't have the ability to use Vault. It allows you to move unhindered, and I get 100% movement speed. Vault with Tumble, just because it gives you that movement My companion with back companion, because I gain 50 hatred whenever I use it, so if I run out of a lot of hatred, I use that to gain 50 hatred, get more damage. Last but not least, preparation for invigoration. I get bonus discipline. The higher the discipline on this build, the better, because that discipline will allow more damage, as I was telling you earlier. So I get max discipline and I get 30 discipline regeneration. So if I use vault way too much because I'm running away from stuff, this gets low, so my damage gets low. I use that to gain discipline back. Last but not least, for my passive skills, I'm using tactical advantage because I want to have that movement speed gain. Archery, because because I'm using two-hand crossbows, I get better crit chance. Cold of the Weak, slow to chilled enemies, because I'm going to use that eventually. I don't want to use another passive and get used to it. It doesn't really matter. Awareness for the health. So as you can see, there's not really any rhyme or reason to it. I'm just using what I think is best for this. Multi-shot is needed because of the damage. And for the most part, I have not very optimal builds for this. This is absolutely terrible. This is okay, actually. It's not great. No defenses on the secondaries on a lot of these parts. The biggest thing, this is the only part that I have that is actually like a near perfect. You want to have resource cost reduction on shoulders and gloves if you're doing this build as an in-betweener like I'm doing. You want to have resource cost reduction on Natalia's as well when you get that, because you want to be able to spam your hatred spender as much as possible. Right now, as it stands, if I had all these parts as Natalia's instead of as the Unhallowed Essence, I'd actually be sitting pretty good because my reduction for hatred cost is 30%. So if I did use Strafe, I could do that for a long time. And then, hey, look, I'm halfway down. Boom, now I'm up to max again. It's a very good idea. I think it'd be a very good idea to make sure your hatred reduction is up around that high. Just keep that in mind, and if you're using a build like this, use this for a good low tier. If you get all these parts, make sure you use them. Don't just scrap them away looking for Natalia's only. Use these in between so you can at least get higher level. With that being said, that's my way to do Greater Rifts as a low level, to farm legendaries to farm out your blood shards, and that'll about do it for this episode. So thanks guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.